This is my second time going to the Spyder team training up in Gangnam. Before going to the training, I powered up on some coffee and a sandwich and headed straight to the Spyder team training center. Today's training session was especially good. I got to train with representatives of the Korean national jiu-jitsu team. They're also sponsored Royale athletes who used to destroy everybody at our Royale tournaments 2 years ago. Their names are Yoon Min-ho, who is going to be teaching the class today before going into sparring, and Jo Jun-young, a very strong black belt who I've lost to many times before. In this class, Yoon Min-ho taught the cool low guard to honey hole entry. So right after the technique portion, which was pretty short, we went right into our rolling. And of course I was trying to get underneath him into low guard, and I tried to put him in the honey hole quite a few times. Yoon Min-ho has a really good base, and he's got really good hips and good footwork. You can see he's basing his hands towards the floor, but not too deep, like his hands are in front of my hips, and he uses the rotation of his hips and his knee to keep clearing the hooks and prevent me from getting underneath him. He's got a really good, what I'd like to call a floating base. Pressure is just enough to stop me from coming up on a double leg, which I tried over and over again. And he sits back just enough that it makes it impossible for me to get underneath him as well. So he's really good at towing the line of being pushed and pulled. He's able to keep that middle line where he can just shut down my offense and look for his own attacks as well. I'm grabbing this knee on the outside of my left arm, trying to shoot up to a double, but he's putting just enough pressure with his knee, stopping me from getting up. And so instead of getting flattened out, I pull the knee to try to get back underneath him, but he's doing a good job of sitting back when I try to get underneath him. I think we both like to use the low guard, so it's kind of funny, but I think our defense against the guard sweeps are pretty good against each other anyways. During this whole training session, I was really trying to stray away from the rope pass. I was trying to work some new grips and try to do some different types of passing. I like how he's using his right arm to grip my inside wrist. His right hand is grabbing my right wrist, which is a grip that I don't really use when I do the sweep. So we do the same sweep, but we kind of do it differently. So that was the end of the first round, but we had so much fun, we decided to roll for a second round as well. I've got 2 hooks on his leg, one on the thigh and one on the ankle, which is going to help me try to load him up really hard so I can get underneath him. I started using this arm drag grip because once I can establish the arm drag grip, I can kind of pull him a little bit harder. But he kind of turns the corner and almost takes my back instead, so this is kind of a dangerous scramble. He could probably have really tried to take my back here, but I think he was being a little bit too nice. He should have tried to take my back and finish me. This is more of that floating base that I was talking about earlier. He's loading some of his weight onto his hands to make his hips and his legs lighter, which makes it easier for him to circle his hips and circle his knees to clear my hooks and stop me from getting underneath him. This is a bit of an odd position, but I've got both legs and both hands on his ankle, knees, and hips, trying to stop him from circling his hips, and I'm looking to either take the back or I'm just going to kick really hard to try to come up on top. I'm trying to smash his knee to the ground, but he's doing a good job using his hips to recover his knee position. In this type of position, he's not going to be able to recover his knees. He turtles up so that he can recover his legs. I'm using a wrist pin here, and since it's above his shoulder, it's going to be very difficult to get the wrist out. And I'm walking my left knee back and to the right so I can flatten him out. Here I was going to try to go for a back take, but instead he actually ends up sweeping me. We have a bit of a weird scramble here, but I can tell as he rolls through, I can tell he's trying to work a back take, so I'm trying to keep my back pretty flat to the ground to make it hard for him to establish good grips to take my back. Alright, the last roll that I'm going to share with you guys today is with Cho Jun-young. So I've competed against him many times, and every time I've lost to him so far. I sat to guard this round because usually when we compete against each other, I'm always passing the guard, so I kind of wanted to try something new. On the flip side, when I am passing, I've tried to really not use the rope pass since we always seem to get into that kind of game. He's wedged his right elbow onto my hip, making it difficult for me to hip escape, and he's kind of using his hips and walking his legs to keep me flat. The way he pushes his knee forward as a knee shield makes it really tempting for me to do the rope pass, but you can see I'm using my left arm on the top of his knee instead. He shoots for an underhook and he's able to get it. Normally I'll just start using my floating base to try to flatten him out and get my legs out and get the underhook out, but he does a really particular thing with his legs. He's drawing my left ankle out to a sideways position, twisting my knee, making it very difficult for me to do any kind of floating base, and so he's able to get the sweep. So I'm trying to use a claw grip on the top side of his knee with my left arm here instead of doing the rope pass, but you can see he pushes his knee out and creates a lot of space between my elbows, and he's able to get that underhook again a little bit too easily. Check out the position here. Check out my left foot here. It's actually pinned his ankle, so if he actually hip escapes, it's going to help me pass. I keep using that ankle to pin his leg, but he's not really hip escaping because he's too savvy for it. Here I transition into a side smash pass. I'm just trying to flatten him out and kill his knees so that I can hopefully work my way to side control. I'm trying to dominate both underhooks here and hopefully work my way to mount, but instead he's able to load me up and catch another underhook. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I had to head back straight to Busan as soon as I got done training here. And I had to leave a little bit early this time because my train was a little bit tight on schedule. Hopefully I'll be back for the Spyder training session sometime in December, and if not, maybe the first week of January. I'll be making another one of these videos soon. Man, I was so hungry after the training session. I had to eat something, so I ended up getting some dumplings. But there's not really anywhere you can sit to eat, so I found this really dumpy place to sit. It's not even really a seat, but I sat and ate some dumplings there before catching my train to go home.